reason I'm passionate here is because I think everybody on earth is going to lose half their wealth in the next 3 to 5 years if they sit in fiat instruments, because the banks are draining the monetary energy out of the currency at such a rapid rate. So I think that Bitcoin is the answer to everybody, all 7.8 billion people's problems. It's the answer to every investor's challenge. I can move $100 million of Bitcoin from New York to New York to London in a few minutes for $3. It would cost you $1 million to do that with gold. It's 1 million times better. And it's going to keep getting better every month because people are going to keep programming it into their stuff. And why will they? Because if Apple programs Bitcoin into the iPhone's going to have a savings account that pays you 100% tax-free interest. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, and it seems like that's one of the big shoes I've been waiting to drop is like the Amazon payment, the Apple embedded crypto wallet. To me is the evolution of Apple's device, and their whole brand move on privacy positions them perfectly to be the security asset for your crypto. If I was them and they want to get into software, services, banking, like this is the obvious move for companies like Apple. It could be a problem for your monetary management in some ways, but also a massive opportunity as an early adopter like Square is doing with Cash App right now to become a leader of this ecosystem and say, let's just build on top of Bitcoin and run with it. And at some point, to me, Square doing it means the game's already over. Like, that's kind of why I think it's funny. It's like Apple's going to do it inevitably because Square was the first one, and they're going to have huge benefits. They're going to create hundreds of billions of dollars worth of business from Cash App just built on top of that because they were the first mover.
You know, Galileo, you totally get it. You know, I posted this on Twitter. You know, I pointed out Square's moved. Because Square moved, PayPal's got to adopt it. Otherwise, everybody shifts their accounts to Square. I mean, who wants a savings account that yields nothing when they could get 100%? So Square pushed PayPal. Square and PayPal are going to force Apple to move. And if Apple were to build a crypto wallet into the secure element of the iPhone and really support it with integration to Apple Pay in a nice native fashion, and if they were to then to adopt Bitcoin on their balance sheet and start to buy some Bitcoin, they would generate $100 billion in shareholder value in 12 months. I mean, you want to make $100 billion? It's a very simple thing. Build it into 1 billion phones and then buy a few billion worth of it. What do you think happens to Bitcoin? If Apple buys $10 billion of Bitcoin, what do you think happens to the Bitcoin price? You know, so the point is, I mean, there's so many ways to make money, right? Because if Apple did it, everybody else would have to do it too, right? And 1 billion people will be using the iPhone. If I use my iPhone as my hardware wallet, you know, if it's the go-to hardware wallet for moving Bitcoin around, then you're going to pry it from my cold dead fingers. I mean, Square's done a great job. They basically plug Bitcoin into Square, and PayPal's plugged Bitcoin into PayPal. Once you've made that commitment, they're going to pry it from your fingers, you know, white knuckle. No one's going to let go, because who wants to give up their money? You know, it's one thing, you know, think about how loyal we are to Apple because we got our photos on it, you know, or our messages on it, or our movies on it. What are you more loyal to? All the money you own or your photos? Like what's real? You know, we've really just gone through the first mobile wave, the wave of mobile communications. The next mobile wave is money, all of it, hundreds of trillions of dollars of it. Imagine what happens if all that money leaps off of stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver, and derivatives, and it flows into people's mobile devices where they can control it. And imagine if you didn't have to worry about juggling it and guessing whose stock is going up and whose stock is going down, right? I mean, the beauty of Bitcoin is it's simple. It's like you put your money in the bank and no one steals it. That's it. Okay, well, how good is that idea? Well, the central bank is going to steal 15% of it if you hold it in dollars. And if you and by the way, that's the best case, because if you have money in Venezuelan currency, Lebanese currency, Nigerian currency, Argentinian currency, you're losing more. right? You're going to lose 90% of all your money if you have another currency. You're just going to lose half your money in the next 36 months if you have it in the US or Europe. So here's my big idea for you. What if someone was not going to steal your money? And what if we built that into big tech? So it's right here. That's the excitement. What did MicroStrategy do? Well, first we bought some, and then we offered to buy out all of our shareholders that didn't like the idea. So then we bought out some of them, and we took the excess in a tender offer, and then we bought some more. And then it went up, and then we made like $300 million on it. So then it almost doubled, and then we bought some more. And then now we have like 800 million or 850 million, something like that worth of it. And then we went to the marketplace. So we raised a convertible debt offering last week. We raised $650 million to buy some more. And why do we buy it? Because we wanted to borrow in a currency which is debasing in value and invest in something which is appreciating in value. Because isn't that what you're supposed to do in business? The reason I'm passionate here is because I think everybody on earth is going to lose half their wealth in the next 3 to 5 years if they sit in fiat instruments, because the banks are draining the monetary energy out of the currency at such a rapid rate. So I think that Bitcoin is the answer to everybody, all 7.8 billion people's problems. It's the answer to every investor's challenge. And although I think people are going to invest in passionate stocks they love, like Tesla, and real estate they love, if you don't love it and you're just trying to conserve your store of value, then Bitcoin is a much better idea than every other idea.